Hello students, in this lecture we are going to see uh, content of unit number 6. The name of the unit is multiprocessor scheduling. Means in this lecture we are going to understand what is multiprocessor scheduling. Under this heading we have to see a different concept of a real-time operating system. As we know that we have studied operating system previously. In operating system we have seen that multi-process scheduling, but here this is the different thing. It is a multi-processor scheduling, right? Means over there were multiple CPUs, but here multiple CPUs as well as multiple processors are also there, and multiple different processes are also there. So multi-processor scheduling handles multi-process activity. Means it becomes somewhat complicated than multi-process scheduling. Previously we have seen scheduling algorithm, FCFS, that is first come first serve scheduling algorithm in operating system, right? Then we have shortest job first scheduling algorithm, then a round robin algorithm, right? These are the some algorithms that we have seen in operating system. Here we have also going to see different algorithms for multiprocessor scheduling. I'm going to clear one more time. Here the algorithm is working for multiprocessor and multiprocess, right? Multiprocessor for multiprocess. This it is somewhat quite difficult to handle the condition if we have FCFS, PS, SR, THJF and round robin scheduling algorithm. Let's see one by one. There are three main multiprocessor scheduling algorithms. The first one is time sharing. Then second one space sharing, and third one is gang sharing algorithm. Let's see first one, time sharing algorithm. As you can see over here, it is mainly used for the unrelated processes. It is mainly used for unrelated processes. Means what? If the processes are not dependent to each other, then this type of time sharing scheduling algorithm having its own importance in multi-processor scheduling. Let's see over here. There are 6 different processors: processor 1, processor 2, processor 3, 4, 5 and 6. These are the 6 different processors, as well as we have different processes in the ready queue. These are the different processes are available to execute for the processors in the ready queue. And here I have shown the priorities of that processes. Means process A, B, C having highest priority, process D and E having somewhat low priority, and process H having lowest priority. What will happen in time sharing? Over here the scheduler will check which processor is free. Simultaneously it will also check which process having highest priority. Those processes having highest priority, the processor will get allocate to that process. Means suppose for here A having highest priority and processor 1 is free, then process A will get executed by processor 1. Alright. Now suppose processor 2 is free, then processor 2 cannot execute the process F. Why? Because process F having priority 2, but there are 4 processes which are having high priority are still remaining to execute. So scheduling algorithm will check which process having highest priority than A. That process will get executed by the processor 2. Here process B is there. So processor 2 will provide whole facility to process B for the execution, right? And so on. Over here the main condition is that each and every process is independent processes. If they are not dependent, then time sharing multiprocessor algorithm or scheduling process is valid for them, right? Have you understand? Okay, then the next algorithm, next scheduling algorithm is there, space sharing algorithm. It is best when processes are dependent. Here you can see processes are related to each other. Process A, B, C, they are related to each other, and process D and E are related to each other. Maybe process B required output from A, or process C required input from B. So that's why they are I said they are dependent for each other, and this space sharing algorithm is useful for such processes. Here you can see different 6 processors are there, and here if processor 1, 2, 3, if they are having a time, if they are blank, if they are idle, then they call the process A, B, C, and process A will get allocated to processor 1, process B will get allocated to 2, and process C will get allocated to 3. As they are independent to each other, all the processor, they are all dependent to each other. So that's why when the 3 processors are ready, at that time only A, B, C will get execute. Otherwise they will not get execute, right? For D and E, how many processors we required in space sharing algorithm? Only 2. If the 2 processors are ready, then the processes D and E which are in ready queue will get allocated to that processors. Process D for processor number 4, and process E for processor number 5. In such a way, space sharing scheduling algorithm works. It works in such a way, right? Means if for dependent processes, that much processors are required, then and then they execute the processes. This is about space sharing. Then next, gang sharing. It is somewhat like a round robin, right? And space sharing. Gang sharing having influence of round robin and space sharing. Here the processors, here the processes, here the processes which having dependability in between them, that processes are ganged. So here gang 1 means process A, B and C, and here gang 2 means process D, E and F. Alright, we have made the gang of the dependent processes. Now here I have drawn a chart. This chart is interdependent on the number of processors and the time. Means this gang sharing is proportional to time. After every single time slash or particular time slash, the processors will get allocated by different processes, right? Means here time is having important factor. Suppose here ABC means at time 0, process A will get allocated by processor 1, processor 2 allocate the process B, processor 3 allocate the process C. Then we have again at times like 0, 3 processes are available. So for process D, processor 4 is available. For process E, 5, process F, 6 is available. In such a way, if on the same time, if the next processors are comes for the execution PQR and XYZ, then time slice 1 is get available for them, and processors will check at time slice 1 which processor are there, then processors start to execute them. But suppose here A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, F1, some part of this process is get executed, right? But in between that, for time slice 1, different processes come. Then this gang sharing scheduling algorithm checks कि some part of the ABC and DEF is remaining, then it will allocate the time slice 2 for this process A2, B2, C2, D2, E2 and F2, right? In this way, the execution of the different processes on different processor is happened in gang sharing. I think this is sufficient to understand what is gang sharing. We have seen 3 types of multiprocessor scheduling: time sharing, space sharing and gang sharing. We have seen some examples how the time sharing, space sharing and gang sharing scheduling algorithm works. Thank you for providing your attention over here to understand multiprocessor scheduling. In the next lecture, we will see next topic.